ceremony. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. And I just took off my hat, so my hair is a mess. Oh my gosh. Hello and welcome. We are here by the Cedar River in a different spot. My normal place that I go to is totally drenched in sunlight, and it's like 90 degrees. I just checked. Oh, there's some people down there in the river too, so I don't want them to. I want to. But here, this is the river. I'm in here by the long grasses and the pebbly beach. So normally I'm down that way a little bit, like over there, but it's just too hot. It's just too hot, and it's hot enough without being in direct sunlight. In fact, I usually don't, unless I'm originally from Minnesota, where it gets blazing hot in the summer. Everyone thinks it's so cold all the time, but in the summertime, it gets up in the 90s, up around 100, and not only that, it's crazy humidity. It's like walking through pea soup, and so I I try to avoid that as much as possible. And I always joke that I'm a woodland creature. I love sunshine. I love sunny days. But I love enjoying them from the shadow, from the shade, right? Hi Gage, welcome. And so if there's shade around, I am gonna grab that shade. So that's why we're in a slightly different spot today. If you don't know what we're doing, we are going to be doing a sacred pipe ceremony, the sacred pipe ceremony from the Lakota people. The tradition handed down for 19 generations since White Buffalo Calf Woman, a spirit woman, appeared to the Lakota people at a time of drought and hunger, and it said the people had lost their connection to Mother Earth, had forgotten their connection. And so it was a time like that, not that much different from today, all of our crises and the bickering and the division and stuff, that she brought the pipe to unify the people. And that's why I still smoke the pipe now, is to unify the people, to bring the world together. Let's see. When White Buffalo Calf Woman brought the original pipe, she taught the people how to smoke it in a sacred manner. She brought 7 total ceremonies, all of which revolve around the pipe. Because as she explained it, the stem of the pipe is the divine masculine. The bowl of the pipe is the divine feminine. And so when we put the pipe together, it is bringing together all of creation, the yin, the yang, the masculine, feminine, the hard, the soft, all of that seeming duality into one. And so when we put the pipe together, it is basically the divine presence right here in our hands. This is church. And at the time, the people were nomadic, and so they could bring church with them wherever they went. And so we still smoke the pipe. It's still just as pertinent, if not more so, because it said that the red of the stone, the pipe stone, is called catlinite, and it said that the red of the stone is the red of the blood of all people, independent of race, of gender, of anything else that we bicker about, that we find divisive, underneath, our blood is all the same, right? And so we smoke the pipe still to the day to bring all the races of humanity together as one tribe. If you know what the medicine wheel looks like, if you've ever seen it's like a hoop with a cross in it, and there's like yellow, red, white, and black. It's like that is the sacred hoop, and each of those colors is a race of humans. Um, and so it's like each culture independent, but together under the sacred hoop. That is the main intention of the pipe, is to bring all of humanity under that same sacred hoop, independent, sovereign in themselves, but working together just like the spirits of the earth, right? All the creatures, all the wilderness, working together in harmony. So that is why we smoke the pipe. That's why we still smoke the pipe. And one thing that I just learned last summer, now that every time that I light the pipe, or at least the first time I light the pipe in a ceremony, I always make sure that the bowl is touching the earth or the floor, wherever I am. And in that way, when I light the pipe, I'm drawing that breath, that smoke through the pipe, it's also drawing up, connecting to the original white buffalo calf pipe. And so it connects to the original one, and to all other pipe carriers who have ever smoked, who ever will smoke, bringing everything together. So that's the pipe in a nutshell. First thing I'm going to do before we do anything else, I'm going to set our safe and sacred space, which is basically calling in the spirits, calling in the elements, to hold this energetic container around us, kind of like you have a pot when you're cooking your food, right? And you put your food in there, you put all the ingredients in the pot, you cover it up, you put it on the heat, and you create this artificial environment where things can take place within that container that don't happen on the counter, right? And so we call in the spirits to hold this energetic container for us so that we can focus on our own magic, our own spirit, connecting to Creator, and doing our own magic. So spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. I always breathe easier. If you've been watching me for any amount of time, I think I always take that deep breath, that deep sigh when I set sacred space, because it's just so much lighter. So hello everybody, hi. For anyone coming in late, if you don't know me, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do pipe ceremony. I just kind of explained where the pipe came from. And so when we smoke the pipe, we don't actually inhale, because the smoke is an offering to the spirits, to the ancestors. And so we just draw it up into our mouth, and then we blow it out, and we bring our prayers into it, and we blow our prayers out in the smoke, and then the smoke carries our prayers to Creator, to Great Spirit. And if you're like back in the day, doing, or even today, if you're at a powwow or a sun dance or some other ceremony, doing pipe ceremony together, like especially like in a lodge or something, you're breathing each other's breath, right? And you start to smoke, and you're breathing each other's prayers. You're breathing in others' prayers, and then you're breathing them back out, and it just exponentially increases the power of those prayers, of that connection, right? And when we put the pipe, from the time I put the pipe together until I take it apart is like one giant prayer, and it basically opens a channel straight to Creator. So your prayers and intentions get sent to Source that much quicker and easier. No waiting, no signing in triplicate, just boom. And so what the ceremony itself is going to look like, so you can kind of follow along, is the first thing I'm going to do is light some sage, and I'm going to smudge everything here on my little altar in front of me. And then I'm going to raise my pipe and say a prayer asking permission to smoke in this place at this time. And assuming that the answer is yes, I will then take 4 pinches of tobacco and fill the bowl. But with that, each pinch I say prayers, and I offer it to the different directions and spirits to collect their prayers, to collect their energy. And then we put that energy and those prayers into the pipe, and that's when we smoke. We honor those prayers, we add our own prayers, and the smoke carries those prayers to Great Spirit. And so that part I do out loud, so you'll hear the different prayers and the offerings that I make. And then at that point, once the pipe is filled, White Buffalo Calf Woman, who I mentioned earlier, is actually one of my spirit guides, has been for somewhere between 15 and 20 years, before the glimmer of being a pipe carrier ever even occurred to me, that I even knew that was possible. But I became a pipe carrier. She taught me a song to sing before each ceremony that I facilitate. So once my pipe is filled, I will sing that song. Then that's when I will light the pipe. And then the next part I do in silence. But what you'll see me doing is taking a big puff of smoke, and then I will offer the pipe to the different directions. I will offer it, right, and blow that puff of smoke in that direction to bless the spirits of that direction and offer them the pipe to smoke. So I'm holding the bowl toward me and the mouth part of the stem to the spirit, so that they can come and smoke with us. So I do the whole circle, and then to Father Sky, to Mother Earth, in a circle for all our relations, and then straight up the Great Spirit. I just heard eagle. That's why I paused there for a second. I hope he comes. I hope Grandfather comes and joins us. Anyway, so then once I send that puff of smoke to Creator, I'll pause for a moment with the stem to my forehead, right? Divine masculine, brain, mind, bowl to my heart, right? The feminine, divine feminine, the heart. And then I come back, I will relight the pipe, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a great big puff of smoke, and I'm going to blow it straight at my camera, and that is a smoke offering coming straight from my heart, through the pipe, through the tobacco nation, through my camera, and by the magic of the internet and the holographic universe, coming out whatever device you're watching this on, to your heart. And so that is the time when you want to say your biggest, bestest prayers, um, or just, or just receive that blessing. Just receive that blessing from spirit, from your ancestors, and just kind of soak in it, bathe in it, feel it. Okay. Then I will go on to continue to smoke. I have specific. I usually send a puff of smoke to a number of my spirit guides, and then I also have intentions that other people have asked me to pray for, or intentions I'm praying for. So I'll continue to kind of smoke for a little bit. I might pause momentarily in meditation with the pipe on my lap and then go back to smoking. And whenever you see me blowing a puff of smoke out, feel free to attach your prayers to that smoke and let the smoke carry it to Creator, okay? My main intention here is to hold space for you. Now that we're in safe and sacred space, you are safe, right? And you've got the spirits around you holding that higher vibration so that you can take off whatever armor you're wearing, whatever barriers you have up. You can let go and open your heart. You don't have to protect yourself. You're being protected. And so you're able to like open your heart to receive those blessings from spirit. That is my main intention, is to hold that space for people to connect to spirit in a deeper, more palpable way. So whatever it is that you do to connect to spirit, especially if we're not in person, you are free to do what, chant or pray or sing or do yoga or Tai Chi or whatever it is you do to connect to spirit. You are free and welcome to do that here, okay? I'm just holding space. Now, if we were in person, that would be disruptive, but because of the nature of the video, you are free to do whatever you want. Or just to sit, like I said, just to sit in the space and to feel the sacredness, to feel the profundity in the simplicity of the ceremony. I was raised Catholic and then became pagan and then realized I was a shaman. And so I have literally been around ceremony and ritual my entire life, from birth, day one, right? And this is hands down the most powerful ceremony that I know of. It's also one of the most simple ones. And it's like this direct connection between us and Creator. No middleman, no ambassadors, anything like that. So, let's see. Once the energy is complete, then I will raise my pipe again, say another prayer. And that prayer lately has been coming out as light language, if you know what that is. If you don't, it's similar to speaking in tongues. It's like, it might sound like gobbledygook to you. It might just sound like a bunch of syllables, a bunch of of sounds, but it's basically a channeled language. I just kind of open up and let the sounds come out of my mouth. And the thing about it is that because I don't have to be in my left brain trying to figure out what words I'm going to use, what am I going to pray for, blah, 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 that kind of takes me out of the presence of being in that prayer. I'm able to let go, and the prayer, it's so much more pure and powerful, I find. And so it might sound like I'm just saying gobbledygook, but just, again, take it in. I'm hearing eagle. Oh! It might not be eagle, it might be osprey. I don't know if you can see him. Oh, he just disappeared. Let's see here. I don't know if I can. Uh, I think that was Osprey. It sounded more like Osprey than eagle. That is big medicine. Osprey. So thank you, Osprey. Osprey medicine is similar to eagle. Sometimes they're called a fish eagle, right? Or a sea hawk, right? The thing about Osprey that sets it apart from other raptors is that when Osprey goes for a fish, you know, eagles swoop down to the water, and at the last moment they pull up, like they look away, and they just kind of slash at the water hoping they get the fish. Osprey keeps his eyes on the fish, even going underwater. His head will go underwater as he goes for the fish. He never takes his eyes off the prize. Which, if you've ever seen the movie A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger, I love that, because it's like, he's described that he's does the jousting, right? And they talk about that most jousters, you know, they've got their javelin and they're going, riding, and at the last minute, they always turn their head away to make sure that no splinters come shooting through their eye hole. No matter how small it is, they can still get splinters coming in, and so they turn away. But Heath Ledger's character keeps his eyes on the prize and never flinches. And so that's Osprey medicine, like keeping your focus on what you want, focusing on what you need, and not looking away. And the other thing about Osprey, they have that black around their eyes, and kind of like the way that like football players always have the black under their eyes to keep the shine of the sun down. I would show you again. I don't know if he showed up, but he's flying back and forth. And what that does, so Osprey can fly right into the light. He can fly toward the light without blinking, without flinching. And so it's this very powerful confidence and courage to be able to face what you want and to just keep going. It's like what are the words I'm looking for? But it's like being able to go straight toward the light without looking away, without being blinded. It's like you have the sight to keep going toward the light. And if you take that metaphorically, you know, as you continue to grow and become light, to become more authentic and more pure and higher frequency, more light, it's like you keep your eyes on the prize, nothing distracts you. So there's that focus, right? So that is the medicine that is blessing our ceremony tonight. Thank you, Osprey. Okay, where was I? Oh, so that final prayer. So I'll say that in light language. And then when I, after that, I don't know if you heard that. That was just a golf ball coming through the trees. Then there's another song, and then I will take the pipe apart. And that will be the end of the ceremony part. And then we'll chat, and then we'll talk for a little bit, depending on how much time is left or whatever. So I hope you stick around. And I find that sometimes words of wisdom fall out of my mouth, and people seem to get something from them. So, you know, please stick around. And let's see, anything else I need to say? Just welcome and thank you. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your energy. If you're watching this, this is not a spectator sport. If you're watching this, your energy is engaged, and your energy makes a difference of what happens here. Even if you're watching this down the line, like a year from now, 5 years from now, whatever it is, your energy, this is a timeless time. And your energy is a vital, important part of what happens here. So thank you for that. So let's do ceremony. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain. Oh God, I forgot the words. May the beauty of the rain take away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Oh. Grandmother, grandfather eagle, we send a voice. We ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. All our guides and guardians watch over us as we smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tawabin, Shanadisi, Majakiwas, and Waboose. There is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all our relations come smoke with us. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors, may all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo, White buffalo calf woman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okane, bayama, okane, bayama, okane, bayama, okane. Okane, bayama, okane, bayama, okane, bayama, okane. Okane, bayama, okane, bayama, okane, bayama, okane. Grandmother, grandfather eagle, we send another voice. Atapaka he, tapapaho, tamaha he, tikatahe, talama gubabaho, tikahe, timuku hu, tupapahai, talaka na ha, yubabai, tikuhu, papapa, tahahi, timaho, kalapa he, tamaho, hukapahe, tulukutu, hukatupapahe, takahe, hu, tukapatapa, the Shupatapai, Tamahakaha, Tohopapai, Taha, Tamahukatapai. Wow. Ihi laihio, Ihi laihio, Ihi laihio, Ihi, Ihi. Ihi laihio, ihi laihio, ihi laihio, ihi. Oh. Oof, God. Whew. Wow. I hope you, gosh, I mean, I do this ceremony almost every day, and it never ceases to amaze me how powerful it is. I hope that you were able to sense it, to feel it. I hope at least a little bit. You could feel your spirits, right? You could feel that connection to the ancestors. I've got someone that's asked if I was Native American in a past life or if I just know Native Americans. I personally am not in this lifetime Native American. I do have memories, past life memories of being Native American, but that is not, I mean, that, what do I want to say? God, that's such a big subject. Yes, I was Native American in a past life. That is not why I do this. I mean, in part it is because that's probably why this ceremony speaks so much to me. But in this lifetime, my main heritage is Irish Celtic, and like when I was just finding out that I was a shaman, I'll tell you a little story about Heath Ledger again. I mentioned The Knight's Tale, the movie that Heath Ledger was in. I guess Heath Ledger is a big part of my shamanic path. Back in the mid-90s, there was a show on called Roar, and it was one of Heath Ledger's first parts. It was a TV show about the Irish Celts and the Romans coming in trying to take over Ireland. It was a really good show. And then in one episode, the clan's shaman showed up. And so here's this Irish holy man, feathers in his hair, beating a drum, all this stuff, and all of a sudden it was like, oh wow. For the first time I felt like I had permission to follow my path, right? Because your path comes from within you. I didn't seek this out. So I realized I was a shaman. I felt like for the first time I had permission to be who I was. And the thing is that being a shaman of Irish descent, shamanism is about honoring the spirits, right? This is the land where I was born. This is the current landscape I live in. These are the spirits I honor. And among those spirits are the ancestors of this land. And so a lot of my shamanic work intersects with a lot of Native American style work. And it's because of White Buffalo Calf Woman being such a prominent spirit guide of mine that I was called to do this. Like I said, it was like almost 20 years ago, I went on my first vision quest. And I've always, and this is a thing, and I've talked about this before, and probably like, so it's kind of an ongoing theme. Like I'm very aware of the appearances of some white guy doing a Native American ceremony. But I was offered, one of my teachers offered to put me on the hill, do a vision quest with me. And so realizing that I was not Native and I was about to take part in a very sacred, holy ceremony of Native Americans, I actually I had my day job was in a warehouse at the time, and so on my lunch break I went out. I'm in my car and I'm meditating, and I said a prayer to White Buffalo Calf Woman, thanking her for allowing me to take part in one of her ceremonies, even though I wasn't one of her people. I had no no expectation of anything more than that was going to happen. I just wanted to honor her and thank her for the opportunity to do this ceremony. And before I knew it, she was there, full blown in my car, kind of hovering over my dashboard. And she said, "You are one of my people as much as if I had given birth to you myself." Which was one of the most powerful things any of the spirits have ever told me. Oh, you like the fawn shirt? And so then I did my vision quest, and of course she showed up during my vision quest. And actually, before she showed up, see, this is the thing about shamanism. You don't choose your spirit guides. I don't seek out, I don't look up in a book and see, oh, I really like to work with this guide or this spiritual master or whatever. I mean, you can reach out to them, but your spirit guides choose you. And so I'm at this vision quest. Like I said, I was raised Catholic. And so I was sitting there talking to Jeshua, Jesus, right? That was what I was raised with, and he's still one of my spirit guides. And all of a sudden, Sitting Bull shows up. And I went total fanboy. You know, I'm sitting here talking to the Son of God, right? No big deal. And then Sitting Bull shows up, and I'm like, oh my God, you're the real Sitting Bull. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he said, "We may not be your ancestors of blood, but we are your ancestors of spirit." And it wasn't until years later, I was taking a class with Tom Cowan, a Celtic shaman, and he actually told us that there are three kinds of ancestors. There's ancestors of blood, there's ancestors of spirit, and there's ancestors of story. And so that kind of validated that. And then on the heels of Sitting Bull, then White Buffalo Calfwoman showed up again. And what she told me was that my path was to be shared. And, you know, part of shamanism is following your path. It's not so much seeking things out as allowing things to flow to you. And so, of course, she being my main spirit guide, I was introduced to a local metaphysical store. For years had a Sunday pipe and drum ceremony that I took part in. I never even thought that I would ever become a pipe carrier. I just knew how sacred it was. It was such an honor to be able to take part, to have that available to take part in on a weekly basis. And then lo and behold, my pipe showed up. You know, traditionally, a pipe carrier you don't go out and buy your pipe. Your pipe is a gift. It's given to you. And so I got the pipe. It was actually a different stem at the time, but I got the stone. And so it was just kind of the block. And so I carved my perching wolf, right? My wolf with the wings. So I carved that onto it to make my bowl. And I was so fortunate to have my teacher, Tess Sterling, who had been a pipe carrier for years and years. And so she was able to bless the pipe, do a whole ceremony to awaken my pipe and everything. And, you know, and I still, every once in a while, I get those little things, but I'm not Native American. And I know what it appears like. Like, even a friend of mine said, well, like, you look like you're just some white guy trying to be Indian. And it's like, that's not it. This is such a part of who I am. Every part of it. And so I question it all the time. Like in in college, one of my philosophy profs, it was a Catholic. I went to Catholic school from first grade all the way through college. I actually went to college in a Benedictine monastery. And my philosophy prof in college, um, one of the things he said that really stuck with me, he was talking about Christians, but he said a good Christian is an atheist at least once a day. Meaning you always question, you question everything. And I really do. I'm always like, am I worthy of this? Do I have the authority to do this kind of thing? And especially during the pandemic, I had some people kind of telling me that I had no business doing it, that all those different things. And so it was a real soul-searching time. And I, being a shaman, I go to my spirit guides for authority. And so I approached White Buffalo Catwoman, the one who brought the pipe, the original pipe, right? And what she said, and this is what I tell everybody, I tell my students, I tell everyone, that your heart is your authority. Your heart is your authority. And the purity of, she said, the purity of my heart in this ceremony and what I bring through it for other people is all the authority I need to do this. So, and there are, there are so many, there are so many, like I talked about the medicine wheel earlier, right? The sacred hoop with the cross through it and the yellow, red, white, and black. The 4 races of humans. It's like there are people of every race around the world who are pipe carriers, and we are all connected in that web, in that sacred hoop. Every time we smoke the pipe, we are connected to everyone else, like this great network of light around the globe. So I just wanted to address that again and maybe give you a little more history of my own path and how I got here. So hi Puck, I see that you said you wanted to be a monk. When I was born, we had the priest that baptized me when I was a baby. He baptized me. He did something special. It was like this expectation from the day I was born that I was going to be a priest. And then I went to a monastery for college. I thought very deeply about becoming a monk, And then I met my future ex-wife, who was Wiccan, and I was introduced to paganism, which I absolutely loved. And then I discovered I was a shaman. So, in a way, I did become a priest, just not a Catholic priest. And my family, my last name is Corrigan. So, and the Corrigan family is one of the ones through history that have notoriously have produced holy people, monks and nuns and monsignors and priests and all kinds of things. And I had a psychic medium friend of mine one time go, oh my God, you're completing the circle. You're taking the circle back to where it began by bringing it back, because those people, once introduced to Catholicism and Christianity, before that, they were the shamans and such. So it's, in a way, I'm bringing it back. That's kind of my path to bring my family back full circle to where we began, and honoring the earth, honoring the ancestors, honoring the spirits, like Osprey, who so generously lent us his medicine for this ceremony. So I had no idea I was going to talk about myself. Normally I have some lesson or my guides come through with some other information, but it felt appropriate And maybe something in my story will spark something in yours so that you can trust your heart, right? Because beneath the skin, our blood is all red. And, you know, bringing past lives into it, we have been every race possible, you know, including not just human, right? There's a number of animals. I have, okay, here's another little revelation about me that will either make you like me better or make say I'm a kook, but I have memories of being a unicorn. I have physical memories of being a unicorn. And that in itself influences so much of what I do, including with pipe. So thank you for the question. And you know, as long as your heart, as long as you're doing whatever you do, as long as you're doing it from a place of passion, a place of love, a place of heart, it doesn't matter what you do. To you, if it makes your heart rise, then you're already benefiting humanity. Any act of joy, any act of love exponentially raises the frequency of all of humanity, of all the earth. Every little piece of joy is that much more joy in the world. And think about 7 or 8 billion, whatever our numbers are now, of people having little experiences of joy every day. Think of how much more joy that will be in the world, right? And that is your only responsibility, is to find your joy. Like Joseph Campbell talked about, when you follow your bliss, where there are only walls, doors will open. So follow your bliss, and trust your heart. Your heart is your authority. And there is no one in the universe more powerful than you, no one less powerful than you, but there is no one who has the authority to tell you that you are doing something wrong, that you are not, that you shouldn't be doing something. If you're doing it from the heart, you're automatically benefiting all of humankind and bringing us closer together into the unity that is the original purpose, intention of the pipe. So there you go. Probably more information about me than you wanted to know. But that is why it is such an honor to be able to share these things with others. Like I said, White Buffalo Cattleman told me my path is to be shared. And so I don't share those things lightly. I don't share stories about myself from a place of ego, like, oh, look at me, I'm so cool, because I'm just a dweeb. I'm a dork. But moose, my guys were just reminding me of moose medicine. I have a lot of moose medicine, and moose medicine is about self-esteem, right? Moose, if you've ever seen this in person, moose is one of the most powerful animals you will ever see. You're like, you see a moose in person, and it's like you're in the presence of royalty, to the crown and everything, right? And yet, moose is one of the dorkiest looking animals on the planet. And so moose medicine, in my words, is majestic dorkiness. Be your dorkiest self. Those things that make you dorky, those things that set you apart from everybody else, are the self-same gifts that you brought the world. There is no one else like you. There is no one else who has your same medicine, who has your same traits. And so to not foster those and bring those to the forefront and to celebrate those is to deprive all of the world of those specific gifts you brought to give. So be your dorky self, but do it with majesticness, right? Total self-acceptance. Yeah, I know I'm a dork, but hey, I'm having a good time. And the more fun and joy that you bring into the world, the better off we all are. So, woof-da. All right. So, and I see people commenting, especially Puck. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. Oh, thank you. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I do this video every Wednesday night. I do readings every Monday night. The first 6 people to show up and say yes in the comments get a 1-card medicine card reading. And I have 5 or 6 years by this time of ceremonies and readings and songs and all kinds of stuff on my YouTube channel. If you would like to work with me personally, I do readings and healings and teachings, oh my. You can visit my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. And you can sign up for a session right from my webpage. You can learn more about me. You can see the different shamanic services I offer. And if you are, there are so many people kind of waking up right now, and at the same time, there are so many people who are kind of at a crossroads or feeling stuck or uncertain. And I do offer one-on-one mentorships. If you're stuck or if you're newly awakened, you don't know what to do, you don't know what your next step is, I would be so honored to help you find your path, right? My job is not to create clones of me and do things the way I do them, but to use my experience, my lifetime of experience, to help you connect to your own guides and your own guidance. To literally, that's what shamanism is about, is direct revelation and connecting to your own guides and getting it right from spirit, your guidance. So yeah, so check out my website. What else? I have a Facebook page. You can follow me on Instagram, Perching Wolf Studios. I have TikTok, but I don't go on there very often. So, but those are some things you can follow. You can connect with me. You can email me. Just a word, my phone number at the moment, my business number at the moment that I have on my website is not working. I'm not getting all of my texts, and I'm hoping to get that fixed soon. But you can email me, you can message me on Facebook, you can connect with me here. All of that information is in the description under this video. And also, please share this video. And if you enjoyed this, if you enjoy my work and you want to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, my PayPal and Venmo links are in the description. And this is my living. This is what I do. And so every little bit helps. You know, traditionally the shaman supports the community and the community supports the shaman. And this is beautiful reciprocity. And the more I can focus on my own path and my own growth, the more I have to offer my community. So, and I love my job so much. I can't imagine a different way of life. So anyway, I've kept you long enough. Thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I think that's everything. So I am going to drum and release the spirits who so lovingly held this space for us. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, and the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Aho. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again. Invite your friends. I hope to see you next week. If not on Wednesday, on Monday night. Thank you so much. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. All right, bye now.